Hi everyone. So last night turned into one of those really frustrating nights where things just didn't seem to be going as smoothly as possible. Decided to go for NGC 7479, also known as the Superman Galaxy. And to begin with, I hadn't even decided if I was going to set up outside or not. The weather during the day wasn't the best. There were still clouds floating around. I wasn't sure if they were going to break or not. I took the chance, however, set up, and it turned out to be a clear light. Although I think there was some very high level fuzzy cloud as the guiding didn't seem to go as good as it was, and the images weren't quite as clear as potentially they should have been, despite focusing best I could at the time. So anyway, the guiding had some issues there, as I said, but particularly around the Meridian flip. When we passed the Meridian, scope just kept going until it hit its end stop, and no Meridian flip occurred. So that is something obviously I need to be looking at. And the guiding on the west side of the Meridian just wasn't happening at all. It kept coming up with right ascension errors. In the end, it stopped all the imaging and stopped the guiding, and I had to go in and do in the tools menu of PhD2 a calibrate Meridian flip on the east and west side of the Meridian. And after I'd done that, I was managing to guide on the west side of the Meridian. But definitely the Meridian flipping is something that I need to look into to understand a bit more, because clearly it's not set up because it's not doing it. And I need to understand exactly how it's set up and which software I need to use to do that. So, if there is those in the know using a Celestron CGX, then obviously drop me a message in the comments below and point me in the right direction before I head down a Google rabbit hole. So that was the guiding there. You'll see more of that later on as I touch on it in the outside video. So last night, the images captured. Let's just nip across to the inputs. So NGC 7479, as I say, I managed to capture or managed to use around about 40 lights, although I still think some of these probably weren't the best. As you can see, the stars are still a little bit fuzzy, although I think this was predominantly down to some of the guiding issues I was experiencing. So I managed to pull out 40 of what I think was the best of the bunch. As you can see here, you can see the Superman Galaxy in one frame here. That's 180 seconds exposure, using a gain of 100 on the ASI 2600 MCP camera. For the bad frames, you can see quite clearly there was issues there with the guiding. The display. Let's go over here. Yeah, you can see we've got slight trailing on the stars. There's the Superman Galaxy down here. But we can see slight stretch in the stars, and that's a predominant feature through the whole evening, in and out these stretches. And later on in the evening, I think it was around about 20 past 12. You can see, sorry, that was, I think that was when we had the Meridian flip. Everything shifted there. But as you see later on, towards the end, where is it now? We started to lose the galaxy altogether. And this was the clouds just starting to come in once again. So that sort of brought an end to the evening there. So after finished up last night, dragged everything back inside, and then today I took all the data that I'd managed to collect, filtered out the good and the bad frames that I was going to give an attempt, stacking, and pulled everything into Deep Sky Stacker, sorry. And I used the calibration frames from a few nights ago or a week ago when it was when I did M33, the Triangulum Galaxy. Calibration frames, camera hadn't been moved, the focus and everything was pretty much the same, and the temperature at the time was set at the same 5 degrees C camera. So I stacked everything in there, and as you can see, we can see the galaxy there just in the center of the image there. So after that was done, I tried a couple of different things. I pulled the saved TIFF file firstly into Pixinsight, which I'm still trying to get my head around. Obviously, so much here, the terminology, it's all new to me, so just poking around and trying different things. But I pulled in the image, did a crop on it down to a 4K crop, background neutralization, then a dynamic background extraction, and then did some further tweaking in that curves. And this is what we've ended up here on the top left. And then I also took the same TIFF file that came out of Deep Sky Stacker, and I pulled it into Gimp, and just doing the usual levels and curves on there. We managed to, let me just zoom down, window, and this is what I managed to get using Gimp. So I don't know which one's better, I haven't compared them side by side yet. So on that, here's the image that came out of Pixinsight, and I'm still, as I say, I'm trying to work out how to use it. I don't think the conditions last night were the best either, so we're not dealing with the best set of data to begin with for the stacking, but nevertheless you can see the galaxy distinctive shape on the image there. So on that note, I'm going to pass you over to last night's Dave, and he'll take you through the problems, shall we say, as they happened. So that's it for today's Dave, and over to last night's Dave.
Hi everyone. So tonight I've got everything set up. I'm taking opportunity while I've got no clouds. I didn't think I was going to get this tonight, but clouds have broken. There was a touch of rain this afternoon. There's more coming in tonight, so I thought, well, I'd be annoyed if I didn't go out, so I'll take my chance. So here I am. I'm set up on NGC 7479, also known as the Superman Galaxy. I'm currently doing some test exposures there at 180 seconds with 100 gain and 1x1 binning, and as you can see, we've got quite a bit of detail showing up there on the auto stretch. And if we look at the guiding, it's set up as well, and it's not too bad at the moment, around about 0.67 RMS, and we'll see how it goes anyway. I'll just plod away this evening. So on that, I'm going to leave it at 186 seconds. 180 seconds, and we're going to set up a plan, just a light plan, 180 seconds, 60 exposures, so it's 3 hours total, and we'll see how it goes. So on that note, I am going to come out of live view and let's start the plan, and I will talk to you.
Exposure started.
Once we're all done, and hopefully we can keep the condensation away as long as possible tonight and the clouds away as long as possible. But I don't have the dew heating set up yet, but I do have the dew shield on the main telescope. So that's about it. We'll speak to you later. Thank you. So I'm back. According to APT, I'm on exposure number 49. Had a couple of problems. First one was I ran out of disk space and I lost 5 images. So I cleared out some of the old imaging that I had still left in the hard disk.
Exposure finished.
And the other problem I've got now
Dithering
is, as you can
started.
see from the screen, the imaging is pretty poor. Guiding
Exposure
is
started.
not working correctly. I'm getting this right ascension calibration error, started not moving off, and I also had another one. I can't remember what it was now, but guiding seems to have gone a bit AWOL, and I don't know what that is, and I'll need to have a look into this further. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it for the time being and see what happens next. Okay, so I think I have a problem in the configuration for the Meridian flips and the auto guiding, etc. I stopped all the imaging, stopped all the guiding, which wasn't working anyway, and I go to the target again. So I was on NGC 7479, and the mount did a flip, and so I'm just trying it again. I've reduced the exposure duration to 120 seconds, and I'm going to have a play and just see what's going on here, but I definitely think there's a problem in how I've configured the mount for Meridian flips. Okay, we'll see what happens next. Okay, so I'm back imaging again. I'm back to 180 second exposure times. The first frame that came through doesn't appear too bad. There you can see 7479 in the bottom of the picture there. On the PhD2, guiding's actually looking not too bad again at 0.38. What I did was went into tools and did a calibrate Meridian flip, and that set the correct setting for the reverse requirements in the settings, and did a calibration on the east and west side of the pier or of the mount, and since doing that it seems to be behaving itself again. So I decided, well, the weather's still good, the sky's still clear, I might as well go back and try some more imaging. So we'll see how it goes. That's all. Speak to you later. Okay, so I think we're going to have to call it quits for the night. As you can see from the last image captured, that the galaxy has disappeared. The clouds have rolled in, things are starting to thin out a bit. So I think that's it. I think there's rain forecast for the next couple of days. So tomorrow morning I'll gather all the data together and see what we managed to get or what we didn't get and what problems I had with the guiding. So I'll speak to you tomorrow. See you later.
So there we have it, everybody. Another frustrating evening, as I said. Guiding problems, Meridian problems, cloud problems. But at least on the positive side, we didn't have any condensation on the lenses tonight. So there's always a bright side to it. And it gives us the opportunity to keep investigating problems and keeps us occupied. Otherwise, life would be so simple, and I think we'd all get bored pretty easily. So on that note, there we go, the final image that came out of Pixinsight. I just had a quick check, comparing it to the one from Gimp, and this one's a little bit clearer, so I'm going to stick with this image for the time being. So on that, thanks for watching. Please do comment, particularly around the issues with the Meridian and how you deal with it. As I say, that was on the Celestron CGX mount with a Celestron Edge HD11 scope and an ASI 2600 MCP one-shot color camera, and didn't have any filters or anything involved last night. So thanks for watching. Comment, like and subscribe, and of course I appreciate all feedback. So I'll speak to you later. Thank you very much.